Hi guys, my name is Daryl and this is another Gran Turismo 7 video, and today we will be looking at my favorite car, the Mazda 787B, and we will be racing in the Sarthe Circuit in Le Mans. So to start off, this is a 700 pp race. We had a previous video for the 800 pp race in Sardinia, which is my main money making method. But just to make things a little bit interesting, I decided to make a tune for this particular circuit. Before we begin our tune for today, if you like this Gran Turismo 7 videos, please click the like button and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our Gran Turismo 7 videos. And it will be greatly appreciated as it helps my channel grow. So this particular tune is what I'd like to call an all-weather setup, based on the intermediate tires of uh, but I will be showing you two setups. And in this race, I will just give you a little bit of background. You will be using full power, or you'd be flat out in fuel mapping 1, and during this race you will be expected to pit once, because in this race the weather is very well fickle, if you would like to use that word. So I decided to make a video with an all-weather build using the intermediate tires. That way you can just pit at your own leisure or when you need to. But the ideal pit stop is at around lap 4. Why did I make an intermediate build? Because I had a hard tire based build and I got caught out in the rain on lap 3 in one of my races, which cost me a lot of time and ultimately made me struggle in the race. So I decided to make this build, but also I will be adding the hard tire build, which would be your primary build if you are looking for the fastest times in this race. But that's very much irrelevant because you will still have to run this race for 7 laps and beyond 30 minutes. Well, at the end of the race, you will be leading comfortably, whether it will rain or not, by around a minute and a half against the other vehicles. So that won't be a cause for concern, even if it doesn't rain and you're using the intermediate tires. But the intermediate tires do degrade faster than your normal tires, and you will see a drop in performance lap on lap by around 2 to 3 seconds. The harder tires are much faster around this track by at the start by around 2 to 3 seconds also, and the drop off is minimal if it doesn't rain. So but when it rains, it becomes virtually impossible for us to race in the hard tires. So let's begin. As always, let's visit what parts we need first. Let's go to the extreme. So I took the intermediate and the racing heavy wet tires so that you'd have an option, but this build will be on the intermediate tires. For the racing, we have the racing muffler, you have your brake kit, customizable transmission, brake controller, the racing transmission, and the racing hard tires are also needed to give you a bit of flexibility. But if you start off with the intermediate build, you won't be needing the racing hard tires for the race. Just to give you a bit of flexibility though. So we need the customizable computer, and you don't need the high RPM turbo, but you will need the customizable LSD. And then you have to have the power restrictor and the ballast. So that's it for our parts. Now let's look at how we will tune this car. Okay, for the tune, again, we will be using the intermediate tires first. This is our all-weather build. So as you can see, we set the tires to intermediate, then you have to adjust your body height. Anti-roll bars have been adjusted, damping ratios also, and the natural frequency, plus the negative camber and the toe angle. We also adjusted the differential a bit, to just give it a little bit more handling, and then the downforce also is 501 and 1600. The ECU though, we did not change it. It stays at 100, but we added a ballast of 27 and a ballast position of -50, and our power restrictor is set to 70. And the top speed, we set it to 290, but you can easily set it to 280 to 310. Okay, that's it for this build. Again, this is the intermediate tire build that we will have. But we also have one other build, which is the racing hard tires. So this is the racing hard tire build. The setup for the suspension and everything else is the same. You just have to set it to racing hard tires. Everything else, the suspension, the differential, the ECU will all stay the same, except for the ballast, which we will be setting at 171, and our top speed that we will automatically set to 300. I did not edit the gear ratios for this, um, so that it will be easy for us to transition, or create a build that is uh, flexible enough. So that's it for the two builds that we will have. Both builds will run comfortably, but I think that when you use the hard tire build, then you swap to the intermediates when it rains, it kind of degrades the performance a bit of the intermediate tire. So might as well max out by starting on running the whole race in intermediates. So let's head off to our race. So let's um select the 24-hour race in Sarthe as our race in the 700 pp. This is 30 minutes long, and we will be using, in this video I will be using the intermediate tires. So when you start this race, as you can see, I'm using full power. My what's this? Fuel map is always set to 1 for this race, because you will still be stopping at least once in this race. I tried to go with a no stop strategy with the hard tires, but ultimately this is a very erratic race, and can be ruined by one rainfall in some parts of the track. It sometimes rains just once, or I've experienced it raining twice, at the start of lap 3, then at the start of lap 5. So, and there was an instance also where I um, had rain for 3 consecutive laps, starting from lap 3 to lap 6. So as you can see, there's no problem with overtaking. This is a very fast car, and this car handles very easily, due to its very low profile. And as you can see, I don't have problems with um, chasing down cars in the first lap, and cornering is also not a problem in this car. as it's very nimble, due to its low, very again, the very low profile of the car, and plus it sounds really great. I really like this car because it sounds great. So on to the straights. You'll see again, I'm chasing down cars very fast, and by the end of lap 1 I will be overtaking most of well, I have overtaken or taken the lead at the start of lap 2 of this race. Well, pardon my bad driving. Oh, I forgot to say that again, as with my previous build for Sardinia, this again is an automatic transmission build. The lap times here would be around 420, I believe. You can be a little bit faster when you use manual transmission. Well, a lot faster, in my opinion. I mean, I improved my times by around 15 seconds just because of the manual transmission. But for the purpose of this race, we don't really need to be very fast since this will always be a 30-minute race. Ironically, the faster you go in the first 6 laps, um, you'll still end up with a 7th lap, based on the times that you will post. So, this is towards the end of lap 1. That those are the top 3 cars already that you can see. And in this particular race, it did not rain, so my times were decreasing after lap 3, I believe. I was losing around 3 seconds of time per lap. But again, that's not really the issue because it's a 30-minute timed race. Uh, you will have your last lap by the time that the 30-minute countdown timer is over. Before, when we used a Tomahawk, I had to run this for around uh, 8 or 9 laps before I ended because that was how fast that car was. But then again, it's not around anymore in patch 1.16. So this is our money making method right now. Again, this will always be a 30-minute race. And we're approaching the end of lap 1. Yeah. Pardon my bad driving. So still getting used to the physics of Gran Turismo. And we're going to overtake, and let's fast forward the video. So I'm fast forward to the end of lap 4, and as you can as this race went on, it did not rain in this instance, but it can rain. So since it did not rain, so I decided I would come into the pits when I needed fuel already. So it's the end of lap 4, and I'm up by about a minute against the competition, and some of them have already pitted. So remember to change your if you're using the intermediate tires, remember to change your tires at this point, and also fuel up to lap 7. I like to extend my fuel a bit so that I'd be a little bit safe. I feel like I'll always run out of fuel, and it has happened several times that I went really exact on the fuel. So my advice for all of you is to add a little bit more than what you really need so that you'd be finishing the race comfortably and safely. As you can see, 1 minute up on the competition, and it will not be a problem even if you do a full stop. So you'll be losing around 50 seconds on the pit stop, and I guess that's it. But do remember to change tires if you're using the intermediates, and because the tire wear is your tires will only be good for 4 laps in this race. So this is we fast forward to the end of lap 7, and as you can see, uh, my tires are still half, and I still have enough fuel, and we will finish the race in about 31, I believe 31 minutes, and our fastest time is actually 4:22 for this particular race. Your gap against the other cars in this one is around a minute and a half already. If it rains, your gap will be around 2 to 3 minutes against the competition, especially when it rains heavy. So if that happens, you can wait on lap 6 and for the timer to expire so that you don't really go beyond 30 minutes. So I guess that's it for this video. Um Again, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and leave a comment, and click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. So um have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.